Hello there and welcome back to another one of my thrilling videos where I talk to you about the kind of cameras that I find in charity shops, shoot with and share the results with you. So today, as you've probably already worked out, I'm going to be talking to you about the Canon EOS 1000. I came upon this camera in a charity shop just before lockdown, I believe, and I picked it up for £10. The reason I was drawn to this camera in the shop, well there was two things actually. First and foremost, I noticed that you could remove the lens from this SLR, and the good news was I could use it on my digital cameras. So I could pop it straight onto my, say my EOS 5D, and it worked absolutely fine. The second thing that drew me to the camera was that there was some film already inside the camera. I think they'd shot 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 shots. So I'll be quite interested to find out what shots they are. Hopefully nothing too suspicious. So yeah, not really a great deal to talk to you about in regards to kind of the camera's functionality, but I will give you a little bit of a close-up look at the camera shortly. I suppose really the only thing I just want to talk about was the strangeness, I guess, of this camera's model number. I suppose that's really what it is. Upon searching for it, you can find it online, but it's very few and far between. So when I was trying to find out, or trying to find instruction manuals for it online, when I would type in the EOS 1000, it kept bringing me results for other cameras that were very similarly named. So I'm just going to show you a couple of examples of that on my iPad. I'm going to edit this to make it look smarter. So this is the first example. So there, as you can see, that's the first one that kept coming back to me, the Canon EOS 1000F. And then another example, the Canon EOS 1000N or the 1000FN. So yeah, that was a little bit perplexing. I couldn't quite figure out why there were so many similar named cameras. Usually that's all dependent on the regions where the cameras are being sold. I don't know if the 1000 was anything special or if the other ones were special types of cameras and this one wasn't, but if anybody can actually answer that for me, I would love to know. So yeah, we're going to jump in to do a little bit of a close-up now of the camera. The film that was inside this was a Kodak Color 200 film, and I went out and shot with that. I did run into a couple of issues with the camera, namely really something possibly to do with the light metering or an oversensitivity to light. There were a few occasions where I was trying to shoot very bright daylight scenes and the camera would just cut out and say that there was no battery power left in the battery. That's another thing which we'll get to later. But then suddenly it would work. So I don't know if there's a loose connection or if it's something to do with the light meter, if it's too sensitive and it cuts out. So again, if anybody knows the answer to that, please let me know. So yeah, we're going to jump straight into a close-up of this now. And then obviously always at the end I will share the results with you. Okay, so without further ado, let's have a little bit more of a closer up look at the Canon EOS 1000. So as I say, this is an interchangeable lens, so just to show you, you can just pop this off. It's really clean actually, I think, on the inside. The contacts are pretty good. Not too much dust and particles in there, but I'm going to put the lens back on. The connections on here look a little bit different but very similar. And we can see it's a 35 to 80 millimeter lens. Just show you the nice fine detail, and there's your macro setting. So I'm just going to pop this back onto the camera now. So let's take this off the front so you can just see that. So there we go, and you can see that it's got a range between 4 to 5.6 for its aperture, so lets in a reasonable amount of light. So that's your lens. So on the front of the camera there really isn't much more to show you other than that. So we're going to spin this camera around, and again, as this is an SLR, excuse me, I really do not like straps. They drive me around the bend. Okay, sorry about that, my camera cut out, so I'm just having to do this segment again. So, just having a look at the back of the camera, so very bland on the back. You've got your loading door, all very clean. Once you've seen one, you've seen them all, so that's all good. And then on the top here, we have the familiar dial of what you can achieve with the camera. We have our little screen here. and we have a number of buttons. Now before I get into that, I need to pop in the battery. Now this is one of those cameras that has one of these batteries. I absolutely loathe these batteries. To give them their real name, they're 2 CR5 batteries, and they come together in this kind of moulded plastic top. I absolutely hate it, and obviously they're more expensive than your normal batteries. So let me just get this loaded into the camera. Okay, so battery is in, and we now have an indication on the screen. So if we just go and have a little look at the dial, and we're just going to start off with the little running man symbol. So that is for sports photography. The flower is for your macro photography. The mountains is for your landscape photography, and the picture is for your portrait. Select any of those and the camera will pick the right setting. They're just presets. The little green rectangle is automatic mode. The little red L is lock, so nothing can be shot. Then you have your P for programmable, your TV and your AV for aperture priority and shutter speed, or your shutter priority, not shutter speed priority. You've got your M for manual. You've got your DEP, which I am reliably informed stands for depth of field. You have your little circle, which is for your timer, and then you also have your ISO mode, so you can change the ISO of the camera. Now I'm just going to pop it onto manual to show you some of the issues I was having with the camera. So this is now in manual mode, so I should be able to shoot and put it in whatever settings I so wish. Now I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but the only thing that I can seemingly change at the moment is the camera's shutter speed. Now if I want to amend the aperture of the camera, there needs to be something else for me to push, which is why these buttons here, I believe, should be the thing that would amend the aperture, so I could go down or up, but nothing responds. And I don't even know how to change that. So I'm a little bit stuck in regards to that. I don't know if it's a fault with the camera. Anybody knows? I don't know if I have to change a setting. I really don't know, because I can't get an instruction booklet. So in the end, I ended up shooting what was left of the film in the camera on automatic mode. So if I just turn the camera around, get this annoying strap out of the way, so you know, obviously when it was ready to go, it was just a case of, you know, taking the picture. So what was my experience like shooting with the EOS 1000? Well, the noise was quite the lens was quite noisy, and the camera itself was okay to hold. It's actually not too dissimilar to a 5D in weight, and I quite like weight, but obviously other people might like lighter cameras. But I ran into a number of issues, like I mentioned. Trying to take certain pictures, the camera would just switch itself off and say it had no battery, where in actual fact the battery was fine. I didn't have the best experience with it, so I think this one may well be consigned back to the charity shop. However, if there is anybody out there watching this channel that would like this, I would be quite willing to send it to somebody, as long as they are willing to pay me the postage. So no cost for the camera, but if this has to go abroad, then you will have to pay for the postage. But you can contact me on my YouTube channel. So if you want this camera, the first person that contacts me and can provide postage will be sent this camera. So let me know. So anyway, enjoy the pictures on the end. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you soon. And I have no flash, so I can't do a little flashy thing. Sad face. See you later.